Well, my name is Teko Benson. I'm a filmmaker, a film director. I came into the industry in 1994, precisely 31 years ago.
My name is Uchabo. I'm a filmmaker. I like to call myself an African avant-garde filmmaker. Over the years, I've made a lot of experimental films. I've been audacious with my experiments.
My background is very simple. Before I came into the film industry, I was into civil service. I was the head of department of the public health department in Anambra State Environmental Protection Agency. From there, I was appointed the special assistant to the sole administrator of the organization. And that's where I worked a lot with administration. I learned most of the things I learned in administration.
I'm a human, very compassionate. They will say, for family life, I'm a father of three, with a beautiful wife. And obviously, as a leader, I've gone through the process of being the Assistant National Secretary, and now the Vice President of Directors Guild of Nigeria. All these 9 years has been a process of service for me, and I'm very, it's been an honor serving the people that we both collectively share a dream and vision.
I'm pursuing a PhD right now in film and theater. I have a master's degree in communication studies with a bias in public relations and advertising. I'm in my early 50s and I've been a director for going to 30 years now. It's a profession I love. I have strong passion for telling stories. I don't joke with it. That is my major preoccupation in life. And in Nollywood, I've, maintained a strong track record in directing. Federal government in 2012 bestowed me with the national honor of member of the Order of the Federal Republic in recognition of my contribution to the film industry. And it's one of the badge I carry. It gives me humility because they say to whom much is given, much is expected. I have been a loyal guild member and I've done jobs that have brought glory to the directing profession, which is what is expected of everybody who is a director, which is the reason why we have DGN. DGN is actually a guild for film directors.
I'm a master's degree holder in film and media studies, currently a PhD student in the same film and media studies. I also hold certificates in directing from the Young Creative Institute. And of course, I also have a business marketing certificate from Abuja Business School. I'm the founder of Coast Film Festival, the fastest and biggest film festival in Southeast Nigeria. I'm also the founder of 3 film institutes in Nigeria that tries to mentor the next generation of filmmakers because it's something I'm very passionate about. One is Abuja Film Academy that caters for the northern part of this country. Second is Enugu Film Academy that caters for southeastern people, and the third is OK Media College, domiciled here in Lagos. Over the years, we train almost 300 students every year. For me, why I ventured into training and mentorship is because coming into the industry was difficult to assess mentors. Not that there are not, but it was difficult to assess. And so, way back as my year 2 in the university, I already started mentoring people. I already started training people because I felt it would be important that people have it easier, have someone to look up to, have a process established for them to get through the industry. So I would like to see myself not just as a filmmaker, but I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm a creative entrepreneur with all my brands that I've mentioned. I'm also the CEO of OK Media Group that is into film production, and of course the founder and the CEO of Uchabo Studios, that is typically a film production firm.
DGN is experiencing a lot at the moment. The directing profession is also experiencing a lot. It's not the DGN that we knew. The good thing about me is that I was there from the beginning, and I'm still here in the present, and I'm still going to be there in the future because time is still there for us. And what I've witnessed in DGN is sometimes I weep for the organization. I weep for the profession. We've had leaders, they have done their best. The past leaders we've had. Everybody comes with their style and they've given their best, all of them. But there's a decay that we have noticed among our practitioners. The worst is in terms of the kind of people we are bringing to the profession. Directors are the leaders in the production team. In the film industry hierarchy, directors sit at the top. At the same way, DGN sits at the top in terms of guild and associations. When you look at the fortunes of the directors now in Nollywood, it's a far cry.
My plans are very clear and very sincere. You see, when you talk about experience in leadership, there's a reason why people are encouraged to gain some level of experience in any establishment they want to lead. For instance, Directors Guild of Nigeria, these 9 years that I've served has given me the opportunity to learn how to be a president. It has also given me an opportunity to learn how not to be a president. And it's very simple. One of the things that you must not do when you are leading an organization like DGN is to second guess, is to dilly-dally, is not to be decisive. Therefore, right now, I already know from day one in my office what is going to be happening. And my manifesto has a 1 year milestone. So 3 months we know what we're going to do, 6 months we know what we're going to do, in 12 months we know what we're going to do. It's clearly defined. First thing first, you cannot run an organization like DGN without having a properly constituted board of trustees. Right now, unfortunately, we have some members of the board of trustees who are already late. I think currently we have like about just 2 still alive. And we must have to reconstitute our board of trustees. That's the first thing first, because that gives us some set of responsibility to them, and they can always rein in the president when the president begins to, go haywire.
My desire is to see every director working. That is one of the things that brought me into the profession, because with my years of practice, I've noticed that just like actors, directors have to be hired before they can make a living. The mix-up we're having now is that there are also producers in our guild. People who are producers are also directors now. So that's why it's bringing a lot of confusion. And directors in DGN, instead of looking for excellence, they're looking for fund to make movies. But if we are talking about just directors guild without the producers, you don't have to bring monetary discussion into our profession. It's just professional discussion that we're supposed to be having. That's, how to get excellence. Adopt those global best practices so that your production value will be seen, it will be visible, it will stand you out.
Systems and structures, that is the one integral aspect of DGN that is missing. DGN has always been personality driven, and that is part of the problems we are facing in DGN. So I'm coming in to set up the systems and structures. The reason why we're even campaigning in this organization today, and everybody is looking at who is Uche, who is this person, what has he done, is because we're looking at personality. We're not looking at the systems and structures. I have said this over and over and over again. We don't need individuals to open doors for us. We need to build the brand DGN to open doors for us. And so, you want to be able to walk into a door, tap on it and say, who are you? You mention your name and say, I'm a member of DGN, and the door will open. Simply because we're a member of DGN. That is where we should be going to. And to be able to do that, we need systems and structure, which means our systems, the internal mechanism of our guild, must be worked upon. First thing first, like I said, we must have to reconstitute our board of trustees and make sure they are functional. Now, they will hold the president accountable in most times. It will reduce the level of, maybe if I may use the word rascality or unconstitutional things or activities any president may want to carry out.
Restoring the dignity of directing is the first thing that we want to tackle. If you want to be a director, you must have the requisites. You must come to. There's no option. You must be a director and command our respect.
Again, we must also empower the Congress. Many times in our platform, I have said it. I said an active Congress will put the president in check and will make the president work. I also believe that it is very wrong, and I pushed it many times. It is very wrong for a leadership to finish 1 year without having an annual general meeting, because it is in the annual general meeting that you give scorecards. If you don't hold that annually, you are tempted to carry on with certain activities that the guilds are not happy with. But if there is a properly constituted Congress at every year, the AGM is where the presidents and the executives are held accountable. Because you're coming to AGM to say what you have done. You're coming to AGM to say what have you used the people's trust for 1 year to do. These are some of the structures and systems that must be put in place. There must be repercussions for presidents if at the end of the year you cannot hold an AGM. There must be repercussions, and it must be captured in our constitution. Our constitution must remain supreme at every given time.
Personal development and capacity building. What I'm talking about is training. We have to organize regular trainings, master classes, and mentorship for our members. That is the only way people can be brought up to speed, because things change every day. That's why you keep learning. When we talk about retraining, people need to keep learning. The world is changing. It's a dynamic world. What you know before, if you want to cling to your old rugged cross, you might lose relevance before you know it. So that's why you have to actually increase your knowledge base, because via the internet, via different ways, things change, and we have to really constantly learn to develop ourselves. So we, through master classes, through mentorship, through different workshops and seminars, which we're going to be doing across zones and in different ways, sometimes online, we have to make it a constant thing, so that people can be brought up to speed. It's not every day that you must be on set. You can make out, the plan is in such a way that we have a free time where we can put all these programs so that people can come out of their hard work and relax and improve their knowledge.
I have also said this, that our method of bringing people into the guild in terms of admission must also be transparent. We must put it up on our website. These are the conditions for coming in. Once you meet up with these conditions, you have become a member. We don't need to second guess how did this person become a member. I am one of the proponents of that. Let us put out this on the website. The truth of the matter is that people always say, but you have been a vice president, why didn't you do all that? The way the constitution is structured, no matter what your ideas are, no matter what your thoughts are, no matter what you want to do, if it is not approved by the president, sanctioned by the president, you can do nothing. You see, that is why after 9 years, I said, look, it's time to really come in and effect some of
As the welfare package, we have a very beautiful plans for insurance, and I have a capable welfare and social director running with me in this election, in the person of JP Wanganya. JP has a beautiful plan. You see, leadership is teamwork. I have my own personal plan, but I'm trying to align my own plan with him, because you see, everybody that is coming into government is supposed to develop their own plan, and that's why they had their own manifesto. So we can't be running across each other. We have to, try and synergize. So we will do well. Everybody can believe that JP has done well. So that's why he must return with our team, so that we can even do better than what he has ever done before.
We need constant training and training. This is why I announced that within the first 3 months of our office, we must set up a proper DGN Academy that is functional. Now, DGN Academy is going to do 2 basic work. One is going to be a source of income for DGN, which means we're going to be training, we're going to be running master classes in collaboration with universities, associations, groups, and we're going to be using that to raise funds. It is high time that we stop waiting for just dues to be able to perform. Dues should be able to just take care of the basic administrative works, maybe paying of salaries, buying of toiletries, basic things in the office should be what the dues should be meant for. We as executives need to start thinking out of the box on how to raise funds. So DGN Academy is coming, like I've always said. The DGN Film and Distribution Initiative is coming. This initiative is what is going to end lack of jobs and empower members to at least be able to pay their dues. How do I mean? I'm looking at already signing an MOU with exhibition platforms first and foremost, we need to get exhibition platforms that are ready to take our films. Imagine when we have an MOU with the MultiChoice, the ROG, or other big platforms and say, we give us 10 slots, we want to be able to give you 10 films made by DGN members every quarter. And then we go all out of the way. There are many cultural organizations out there, there are many institutions out there that we can either get a soft loan or we get a grant. These monies will be appropriated to individual DGN members and they will use it to make the film. Because we already have an MOU with exhibition platform, this film immediately is coming out, is heading to that platform. Trust me, with that, imagine if we're doing 10 per platform and we have like 3 platforms. That means 30 films in 1 quarter. That keeps our young and old filmmakers at work. We're also going to be going to talk to the likes of studios. We're going to sit down with AMP. We're going to sit down with producers, all the producers body. We're going to sit down with them and discuss what is the minimum guarantee in terms of time and in terms of fee for every working director. It is time for us to start putting structures and systems in place. We will discuss with them and reach out an MOU. Okay, if you're hiring a DGN director, this is like the minimum time you are going to give him. Okay, you're not going to say, oh, you give him a script today, you want him to start shooting tomorrow. No. What is the minimum time? Is it a week? Is it 2 weeks for like the films that go to YouTube or low-end films? Or is it 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months for movies that is high-end that goes to the cinema? These things has to be defined.
Entrepreneurial transformation. You see, directing profession requires that it's only when you are hired that you can work. We can't afford to have beggars again in DGN. We have to make everybody to earn money. We have to train them in entrepreneurship because that skill should be monetized. The skill that we possess is more than gold. Look at these people doing skits, making money from their channels. They have zero creativity to compare with what DJ members have. Some of them, if you go to their YouTube channel and their Facebook channel and even Instagram, they've monetized everywhere. Some of them are cashing out $50,000 every month. And directors are just sitting down waiting for people to hire them. So we have planned it that we're going to get people to train us on some of these business secrets so that we can learn how to do this. Some of us, it's not a must, it must be movie. You can get into documentary, you can get into talk show. There are programs people are looking for. So you can keep yourself busy with all this while waiting for jobs. You will see that when jobs come, if the pay is not good for you, you can tell them to go to hell because the pay must fit before you can go. So this is part of our plan. We have to become entrepreneurs. Because even look at it now, all the actors have opened their YouTube channel. These actors are making money. They're even the luckiest people now. They're busy, they're making money. And yet, they go ahead to open a YouTube channel. They are even encroaching into our own side. They're making more money. So if they're doing that, and we're just sitting there praying to God to throw that money from heaven, it can happen like that. So we have to begin to change this orientation because we are prepared to make sure that every director is comfortable so that nobody will look down on us again.
Our people say that he who does not know where the rain started beating him may not know where the rain is going to end. So, we're going to set up from day one in our office what we call the National Policy Advisory Council. Now, DGN National Policy Advisory Council, what are they going to do? Their job is to review our last 25 years. What have we been able to achieve? What is even our goal? What is our vision? What was our mission? What were we pursuing? What do we want to achieve? What is it that when we achieve now, DGN will be like, oh wow, we have gotten to that big goal we have been dreaming. When they are done with the review, they will now set up what I call the policy direction for the next 25 years. Now, this is going to allow continuity. Do you know why I'm thinking about this? Because having studied the system, I realize that every president comes with their own promises, their own complexes, their own ego, their own ideas, their own priorities. And when they leave office, they leave with all of these things. The next president comes with a different agenda. At the end of the day, there is no continuity. There's no policy continuity. And it's just like the house needs to have a policy direction. And that is what the DGN National Policy Advisory Council is going to help us fix. Now,
permanent secretariat is my next point. I think it's very important that we move into a secretariat that we can call our own. Every year, one of the burdens we have is to raise money to pay for the secretariat. And you discover that if there's any year we don't meet up, they can kick us out of that place, and it will be a national disgrace when it goes to media that DGN is kicked out of their office. So that's why we need to build our own secretariat that we can call our own. And apart from even that, the fact that there's an institution, there's a building that people, even when they're driving past, they see the banner, they see the branding, Directors Guild of Nigeria. When you are institutionalized, it has a lot of advantage.
We're also going to look at the insurance plan. We're going to look at health plan. The thing is, we are going to be discussing on how do we remit direct from work. So if a DGN member is hired for work, instead of allowing you to, finish 1 year and start thinking about how do I pay my insurance fee, no. As you're getting paid from work, we have a direct way of getting that money from the source, so that it reduces the amount of pressure paying once puts on you. That way, you have a cover for your health insurance. If you are sick, you can go to the hospital and receive the best practice because of the insurance plan.
The insurance, people don't understand why insurance is beautiful. Most of our people, when they get sick, they go to social media to beg for money. It's bringing insult and disgrace to our profession. People are seeing us as a bunch of unserious people. So we need to actually plan our retirements while we are alive. The beautiful thing about the insurance is the premium they take is not much. But with that little premium you pay, you see that anytime you're sick, even there are packages that involve your family too. If you're sick, or your wife, or your children, anybody is sick, you can just walk into any hospital that you're registered with and get your treatment and go home without spending any more money. So we're going to activate that, because DGN had that at a point and eventually it died. You have to reactivate that. Wake it up. DGN Code of Ethics. We have to study what we have, but I'm coming in with a different approach. We have to really set up a committee to introduce a very strong code of ethics that will guide our operations. Code of ethics is very important in every organization because it guides our practice. It will introduce discipline. It will introduce professionalism. Every problem that we are complaining about, the code of ethics is going to take care of it. If you go to platforms now, you see our different platforms, see how members insult each other. With a code of ethics that's operational, nobody will do that because we are going to emerge as different set of people. Within 2 months of our government, you will see that automatically people by autopilot will become disciplined because the system will discipline them. Because by the code, if you violate any code, the punishment will be so bad that you won't even dream of doing that. We need to be organized.
However, for the secretariat to work, or for me to be able to attend to the needs of people, when I was the national secretary, I had to sacrifice 2 weeks in 1 month. So I'm in the office in 2 weeks, and I'm also on the field another 2 weeks. So that was how I was able to keep the secretariat. All of that for me was the passion I have when I came into Directors Guild of Nigeria. It's a glorious organization. It's an institution. In fact, it's one of the few standing institutions in Nollywood. We loved it when we came in. From outside, it was a joy to be recognized as a DGN member. So when I came in with that passion, with that fire, with that proactiveness, with that, that understanding that this is an institution that must be preserved and protected, that was the firebrand that, inspired me to do my job as National Secretary.
We plan a very robust program for people in diaspora because our plan now is to make DGN go global. We have to be global now. And the good thing is that we have a lot of our members who have traveled outside the country. They are not here anymore. Some live in America, some are in Canada, some are in Australia, different countries of the world, some are in Europe, some are in UK. So we need to make use of our members in diaspora to establish our international networks, and the people in diaspora, we have to do a lot to integrate them into what we're doing and bring them into decision making so that they can be part of what we're doing. Some of them complain that when they come back here, even though they're members of DGN and they are confronted with some problems, because sometimes DGN Censors Board will give a condition that for your film to be censored, you must be a DGN member. Many of them go there, they are denied. And it's not a good thing. We have to harmonize all this. Another problem I have is that I once asked, when I was trying to start contesting, I asked for a master list of members of DGN so that we can have people to call. Because if you are contesting an election, you need to have direct contact with all the members of DGN and speak to them, because if you don't call some people, they feel it's a neglect on your side without knowing that some numbers are not even available to you. We need to have every member who is alive, who is a DGN member in our database. It has to be there at one click with their contact details, with their phone numbers available. We must do that from day one. And apart from that, we have to even be physical. We have to open a cabinet, file cabinet, and people have to we have to open files for every single DGN member. It's very important. So we need physical documentation in our secretariat so that we can have evidences. Even people who are late, we must have something to do with our people who are late. Membership categorization. Some people have spent 5 years in DGN. Some have spent 10, some have spent 15, some have spent 30. And in life, people want to grow. Everybody wants to grow. So if you see that somebody can mark 5 years in office, you celebrate it. You get to 10 years, you celebrate. 15 years, you celebrate. So people who are there earlier deserve some respect.
We're going to be creating what I call DGN Masterclass Hall. What exactly is DGN Masterclass Hall? If you are very conversant with the platform they call Masterclass, you see that a lot of professionals have their masterclasses sold for a fee. So it is time for DGN to start creating some of our Legends Masterclasses. When we're done with the creation of these Legends Masterclasses, it will be uploaded on our website. Anybody anywhere in the world could buy as low as $5. $3 goes to the person whose masterclass it is, and $2 remains with DGN. We must promote these masterclasses and let the world know that we have very strong, well-detailed filmmakers in Nigeria. We're also going to be launching DGN Studios. What exactly is DGN Studios? Now, that is where we're going to be creating our DGN 247 news update. Now, I don't understand why any event in Nigeria can happen without having DGN 247 in your event. The idea is to put DGN brand out there, because at the end of the day, we're looking at rebranding the guild so that anywhere you turn, anywhere you go to, and you mention DGN, because of the amount of digital rebrand that we are giving to this guild, people will be interested to knowing more about you. So you see, when you position this guild with some of these programs and plans that I'm laying out, you no longer need an introduction. And that is why I said we need to move away from personality-driven guild to systems and structure-driven guild. Because when you get to systems and structure-driven guild, every year we're no longer going to be asking the questions of individuals. We're going to be asking the questions of policies and direction.
It's important that we look at the choices that we have in this election. It's important that we choose people that will deliver. It's important that we make choices not based on sentiments, not based on bias. Let's just sit down and look at the people who are offering themselves. It might be this election, it might be next one, it might be me, it might not be me. Let's take time to study people who are coming to govern us. Because what it means is that you're going to hand over your destiny to somebody to carry this for the next 2 years or 4 years, as the case may be, because the person can win a second term again and stay there for 4 years. It's important we look at the track records of people who are coming into contest. Look at the values they bring. Look at their morality. Look at what they represent. Look at their relationships with people. Look at what they've done before. Look at their personalities. When you are looking for somebody to be in charge, because what it means, anybody you choose has to be the president of Directors Guild of Nigeria worldwide. If he goes to America, that is the image that represents directors in Nigeria. If he goes to Africa, anywhere in the world that he steps to, that is the image that represents the personality, the worth, everything about directors in Nigeria. That is the election. That is what it means and symbolizes. Let's think deeply about this. Let's reflect in all this before we make a choice. Because any mistake we make, we have to live with that consequence for the next 2 or 4 years, as the case may be.
And I feel like as a professional body, that is what the campaign should be all about. Let us compare notes. What are your ideas? What do you want to do for the guild? What do I want to do for the guild? What are your experiences in guild leadership? What and how far have you been able to contribute your own quota? It is easy for people to throw stones at people who are in leadership. Trust me, leadership is not such a rosy thing, especially that of DGN where there is no particular salary you get at the end of the month. But if you have a special drive for service, you always tilted towards serving than running away. So that's the reason why people like us seem to be very, very passionate about this guild and how we can serve them better. A lot of persons could have diverse opinion, which is very okay, but being in leadership is a very tough job. I'm asking for it because I have been able to go through the process, and I have been able to understand the kind of reforms we need to do instantaneously that is going to ensure that we don't need to introduce ourselves again to the world, but the world will immediately know about us the moment you mention the name DGN.